It's a new week, and that means new projects on Jeff's 1973 Charger. Last week we got most of the rocker panel installed. We've got a little bit more to do on that. We're gonna wrap that up this evening. But the bigger part of this episode is gonna be recovering and preparing the back floor section for installation in the back of the car here. We'll go through all that later on in this episode. For right now, I'm gonna finish up the lower pinch weld here and finish up the back pillar, welding up that. Jeff's gonna work on some wheel well patches. We're gonna just continue working on the little patches and things this evening until we're ready to get onto the floor and the bigger part of the build here, which is removing the old floor and the old frame sections and putting the new floor in. Update here. You can see we got all the structure welded together inside and out, lapped all these joints in the back. Everything's looking pretty darn good, and it's getting very solid up in here. So Jeff's working on these lower patches here. I think you just about got your patches done.
No, it only took me 3 hours.
Hey, that's okay. It takes as long as it takes. So he's working on the inner wheel well patches here, and you can see he's got that fit up pretty darn well.
This one goes.
And that one's gonna go in there. That's gonna be perfect. We're gonna be able to fit that in there nice. Just to be safe, we do have all this welded up solid, but I'm gonna take a piece of 18 or 16 gauge, I'm not sure yet, and I'm just gonna make a little C-notch, a C-channel panel that's gonna slip over this structure, and I'll drill some holes in it so that we can spot weld it on either side of the weld line, and then we'll weld it solid on the outside. So we're gonna do that one there. And then I'm gonna do a little angled piece here just to add a little bit of extra support onto these braces in here. It's probably not necessary. We've welded this solid, grounded all smooth. That's probably good enough, but just to be extra safe, we're gonna throw those in there, and then we will know for sure that we'll never have a problem up in this structure. All right, so here's the first patch. This is gonna go on just like this right here. Got that good and tight. And you can see I got some spot welds drilled out here to weld the front of this plate on there, and then we'll just weld down and around the sides. And that should do that up pretty good. Got weld through primer on the back side. That one's gonna go up here. I'll drill holes along the front and side edge of that as well. And we'll do the same thing, get those welded in. So that pretty much does it for the rocker install. All we've got left to do is to fit the floor. Feels good to have that accomplished. I did finish out grinding a lot of the welds and stuff over here and kind of smooth everything up over here. Got it looking a lot better over there as well. All right, Jeff and I are in the storage unit this morning. So this is our little parts heaven here. This is 1.5 chargers in
Easily.
here.
It's like Christmas every time
Every time you come in here, there's something new to look at. So this is the floor piece we've been talking about. This is, see if we can get it all in shot here. The whole floor, all the frame rails on the bottom side, and this piece is very clean, very, very clean. Now, this is where that other rocker was cut off. So everything that's been cut is already gonna match what's on the car. All of our edges of the floor and all that are gonna match right back up to that rocker. We are gonna remove this wheel well and all that side structure off of this. And really, I think the plan is gonna be to cut this right in half and do it half at a time. But today, the goal is to get this out of the storage unit, back to the shop, and we'll talk a little bit more about how we're gonna deal with this piece. Oh, this is so much easier than when we came in.
I gotta admit, I don't even remember how we moved it in. One of those takedown with the takedown part. I think I just repressed it. Yeah.
You see, we got this loaded up in the U-Haul trailer here. 25 bucks for half a day rental. Definitely worth it instead of trying to get it up in the back of the truck, which is what we did before. Stop right there for a second.
Yeah, no problem.
You good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. I'm gonna All right, 1, 2, 3. Oh, ouch.
Ooh, you okay?
I'm good, yeah. I just walked the edge right into my, really ripped my pants. We got this whole piece back in the garage with the car here, and I want to just quickly talk about what our plan is here, how we're going to attack this. So first off, if you look at this piece and you look at the floor in here and how solid it is, it's in such better shape than what we're dealing with on the actual charger. You come over here and we'll look in the floor pan and you see how much rust holes and everything are in here. So this is all in really bad shape, and additionally, we've talked about this prior, but you can see the frame is rusted through here all the way through the bottom. You can see it's puckered out up here and it's pushed way in up there from our collision damage. So this frame rail is toast. That one's rusted in the same locations. We're gonna come around to this side and you'll see that really the only damage we have on this frame rail is right back here, just past these bumper brackets. So you can see we rusted through here right on the very end. So it's pretty much from here back. We can patch that, we can plate over it, we can do something with that fairly easy, a lot easier than like replacing a singular rail or something like that and then trying to figure out what to do with the floor pan. So the plan here is pretty simple. This is all just sheet metal, with the exception of this brace right here. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna remove this brace, we're gonna remove this little brace that's in here, and we're gonna remove this rubber isolator that's here. Once those three things are removed, this is just one stamped piece of sheet metal, okay? We're gonna strike a center line down this and we're gonna bisect this thing right into. That way we're working with singular halves, okay? We're gonna remove the fender extensions off of the top and the bottom here. They're rusted. We're gonna replace those with new. This floor piece was what was initially attached to this rocker that we just put on this car. So where all of the cuts are here correspond to what's already cut out of the inside of our rocker here. So all this should line up when we go to put it back in. When we do the passenger side, what we're gonna do is we're gonna take a piece of painter's tape, find a seam to work up, like a 1-inch piece of painter's tape, tape that all the way up and around. We're gonna follow that cut line up and around the car. And then we're gonna do the same thing, put a corresponding piece on this panel and cut that up and around. That way our cut lines are extremely close to where they should be to one another when we go to put this piece into the car. So we're gonna do it in halves. We're gonna do the passenger side first here because it's already detached. we are going to brace the car up to the chassis frame here from the underside of the wheel well here, maybe in the back of the car a little bit, because once we cut that half off, the frame is no longer sitting on the table here. So we're going to want to be conscious of that. We're going to want to brace probably up to our rocker up here, maybe up underneath our fender well, and maybe something in the back here to hold the car up in the back and keep it from moving. Once we cut that floor pan out, we can take the new one, put it in, reconnect the two, and we've got our pedestals here that are going to help us locate where the frame rail should be to keep the chassis of the car square. So, and we'll obviously take a bunch of measurements when we do that as well, just to keep everything square. So we'll end up cutting all this out, putting the other stuff in, and then once we're happy with where it's at, we'll re-weld it back to the floor in here, and we'll have a solid back quarter of the car here. And we can repeat that process, brace this side of the car up, and cut this half out. Once that's done, we basically have the entire floor structure replaced from underneath the passenger seat here all the way to the back of the car. And all that will be left for us to repair is a little bit of the wheel arches here, the front floor pan, which Jeff has decided to replace that entire floor pan. So that's going to save us a ton of time because we're just going to cut this one out, slap a new one in. The rocker on that side, and then our fender patches and our quarters, which Jeff's already sourced a new brace and patch for this, so we'll be able to clean this fender up, get it looking good again. And then we're gonna buy new quarters for the back, so that'll be a fairly straightforward installation once we have all the rest of the fender well repairs and the fender extensions done. So it sounds like a lot of work, but I do think that because we're doing this in large chunks, it's gonna go fairly quickly. These two back halves, especially once we do the first one, we're going to learn from doing that first one for the second one. And it's going to, I promise you, it's going to go a lot smoother than the first side does. And we should be able to get this thing welded in solid, back structurally solid again, absolutely no more collision damage in the car. And then we can focus solely on rust repair and getting this car painted and looking good again. So that is the plan for this Charger. But we've got a lot of work to do before we can get there. We want to prep this whole piece. After we cut it in half, we'll prep both sides. We'll get everything painted up. That way it's all painted and ready to go, except for probably the center line. So when we go and get this in the car, then we don't have to do all the prep work underneath this thing with crap and dust falling in your face and then painting on your back and getting paint up your nostrils and on your face and in your beard. And ask me how I know about that from doing Ellsworth. I had so much paint up my nose and in my beard that it took me a couple showers to get clean. And that's probably too much information. As far as timeline, Jeff and I have been working on this car for about 6 weeks now, I think. Probably about 8 weeks, actually. I think we started shortly after January. You saw it took us about 6 weeks to get that rocker panel put in, installed. This floor pan, I've been saying floor plan. I'm going to edit most of it out, but I keep saying floor plan. This floor pan, I think, is going to take us about a month to get cleaned up, get the old ones cut out, get the new ones put in. We're pretty much up to date on the videos. The last video was spanned about 4 weeks worth of work. So that really ate into my backlog of videos here. So as we speak, this is the end of the first week of March. You guys are going to probably be seeing this video this coming Friday. So just a week from when we're filming right now. I usually try to work a couple weeks ahead, but I'm a little behind at the moment. That said, I'm also going on an actual vacation here in a few weeks. So in the spirit of wanting to get you guys a video every single week, and the fact that I'm approaching 15,000 subscribers, I thought it would be a good time for us to do another Q&A. What I want you guys to do, submit your questions down into the comments this week. Whether it's questions for me, whether it's a question about this car, whether it's a question for Jeff. Jeff, are you open to answering questions?
Completely.
Okay, so questions for either of us, questions about the car, questions about the channel, questions about future projects, whatever it is, drop it down in the comments. I will acknowledge your comments, but I'm going to answer them on next week's video. So Jeff and I will sit down, we'll answer all your questions, whatever you guys want to talk about, and we'll put that out for you guys next week. We will also be talking about future plans for the channel, upcoming projects. Obviously, we've got a big one here with Jeff's car, but we've got other stuff going on in the background that's going to be coming up. You guys are going to see some intermixed videos between Jeff Charger and some other things. So we'll talk about all those plans, what's coming, events for 2026, things that I'm personally going to be attending with Ellsworth, my pickup truck. So we'll talk about all that next week, guys. I appreciate all of your guys' support. I appreciate the likes on the video, the comments, the hypes on the channel, all that stuff. It makes a huge difference and it means the world to me. I never would have guessed that a little over 2 years ago that this channel would be at nearly 15,000 subscribers. It just blows my mind that you guys want to watch this stuff that I just be doing in the garage otherwise. So I appreciate you guys all watching. As always, guys, if you don't work on your projects like this charger, they will not work on themselves. Get out in the garage, get building, and I'll see you on the next episode of Cody Builds.